Let me talk very briefly about the ever-changing landscape of trucking. The ever-changing landscape of trucking. Drivers either adapt to the changes or get left behind. Either adapt or get left behind. I'm gonna give y'all a glance of where I'm at. I'm at the terminal in Nebraska. You probably be able to see and guess who I work for if you don't know. Lincoln, Nebraska. The trucking industry is always changing. Nothing stays the same. I've been trucking since 1998. Been lots of changes. Trucking industry been advancing more and more to technology into the future. More and more. When the when the truck industry was forced to go to e-logs, a lot of drivers got left behind. Why? A lot of companies was forced to close their doors. It's not a fever blister, none. It's a ingrown hair bump, just in case. Yeah, some companies went out of business, like Howard Barrel out of Nashville. They had a big account with Kroger's, I think it was. They drivers couldn't adapt to the electronics. They couldn't figure out how to work the electronic logbooks. Even the ones in the office, the people had to take this extensive training course to get them started to trying to navigate how to operate the system. And 15 years or so ago, you had a generation of older truck drivers that grew up in the trucking industry, not even knowing how to run a paper logbook. A lot of drivers that was out there on the highway weren't qualified to be highway drivers. They didn't know how to run a logbook. They didn't know how to read maps. They just drove. And they were real outlaw truckers. Half of them couldn't even hardly spell their name. They were willing to drive. But as the trucking industry moved more and more to the futuristic trucks, everything done by apps. I'm starting to go to more and more places now where they are trying to eliminate the driver to shipper or receiver personnel. You're gonna have to download the app, check in as you pull up, scan a QR code, check in that way. It's ever changing. It's moving more and more towards technology based. In the future, human transactions going to be eliminated. Even in the future, drivers themselves going to be eliminated. They already have trucks on the road that are self-driving. So either adapt now to the changes, or be left behind. In the future, you're gonna need a degree, a college degree, to be able to drive a truck. Technology is changing. I'm not really tech savvy, but the apps and stuff, once you start using them, it becomes easy. There's a lot of drivers at the company that I work for now that I know they still cannot use TransFlow app. They still cannot use PeopleNet. I know this company I drive for, they have a lot of old head truck drivers. A lot of them been here 24, 30 years. They cannot adapt to the changes. Companies do the best they can to keep them around, but they phasing them out. In the future, if you're not able to adapt to the constant changes of the trucking industry, you're gonna be out of a job. Everything is going to hands-off technology. Pull up to a ship or a receiver. You got to download the app. You got to go in here and do this electronic signing and all this stuff. For a lot of drivers, they have grandchildren, daughters, kids nowadays can adapt and figure out how to use electronics and stuff in a heartbeat. Get your grandkids, get your children to show you, get you started. Cause you're gonna need it. Everything is technology based now. A lot of warehouses is moving more and more towards humanless, moving more and more towards robotic. I was talking to my wife just about last week about the common workforce. People that doesn't go to work at warehouses and stuff like that, they're becoming obsolete. Humans are becoming obsolete in the workforce. They building more and more warehouses that are operated by robots. My daughter's in college. She's taking up all that stuff. That's what you're gonna need. The common 9 to 5 workers, they finna be out of a job in the near future. A lot of truck drivers gonna be like that too. Hopefully I can last for another few years. I got a 401 that's looking pretty good. If I can stay around here for another 10 years, I think if the wheel fall off, I'll be okay. But a lot of drivers ain't. When Howard Barrow, when these trucking companies was forced to go to electronic logbook, a lot of drivers was out of work. A lot of drivers out of work. A lot of few companies went under when they were forced to go to e-log. They couldn't operate. The personnel in the office couldn't adapt to the changes, and the truck drivers couldn't adapt to the changes. Trucking industry is always changing. They always trying to change laws, technology. There's still, like I said earlier, there's still some drivers out here that halfway can't use PeopleNet. Can't navigate through the phone. Take some courses if you can. Ask somebody. When I first started this job, I had what we run? PeopleNet, what the other thing? Optima some whatever. Another type of computer. And I had to ask a lady. I knew how to use it, but the company format, I was stuck. When I first got hired at this company, I had to get her to walk me through it. And when she walked me through it one time, I figured out how to get past the same screen, and I was good from there. So, yeah, trucking is ever changing. Life is changing. Everything is changing, moving more and more toward technology. If you is not able to adapt at all, you're gonna be left behind. These jobs nowadays where you can just go and somebody hire you under the table, hire you without being qualified or do your favor, them days is coming to an end. You're gonna have to be able to actually qualify and do what needs to be done to attain that job. If not, you're gonna be out of work. You're gonna be outdoors. So you old heads, even younger drivers that's not really tech savvy, I would advise y'all, talking to myself, cause who knows in the next 5 years what's gonna happen. Who knows what turns the trucking industry gonna take in the next 5 years. Be ready. Be ready to adapt to whatever comes. If not, I'll be looking for something else to do, or a lot of people ain't got no options. If they ain't able to drive, they just done. And I feel the pain, but you gotta try. Find something to do. Try your best to adapt to the changes. Do whatever you gotta do. Ask somebody. Take some classes. Take some courses. To introductory courses to even start to try to navigate computers and stuff like that.